So you're interested in a Herman Miller chair, but you don't know where to start. I've got you covered. We have spent over 10 grand buying every ergonomic chair in their lineup so we can test them side by side. I'm Robert from BTOD.com. We sell office chairs, and that's given me the opportunity to test all of the most popular models on the market, creating hundreds of videos on chair comfort and desk setups. Herman Miller has some amazing chairs, but not every model is S tier. I'll break down the pros and cons of each chair and give you alternatives for the ones I don't recommend. I recently did a long-term review of the Herman Miller Embody, and after 5 years of real use, my conclusion was pretty simple. It's still an S-tier chair. The Embody's pixelated support system is still one of the most unique designs out there, so it feels slightly firm at first, but over long sessions it distributes your weight very evenly. You sit more on the chair rather than down in it, which makes shifting positions easier and it helps with airflow. The wide seat and adjustable depth make it easy to dial it in for different body types. The backrest uses that same responsive pixel system, allowing natural movement instead of locking you into one posture. There's no adjustable lumbar system, it's just a built-in curve. But once you set your back angle, the support feels consistent all day. The harmonic tilt recline is still the smoothest, most balanced mechanism I've used. The armrests are simple, but they're stable, with large cushion pads that spread pressure well. After 5 years, durability has been excellent with only minor fabric wear. If you add in the Atlas headrest, the Embody feels even more complete than ever. Expensive, yes, but it's still S tier. The Herman Miller Aeron is another chair I genuinely love. It's the most refined mesh chair I've ever used, and the build quality and recline are best in class. The mesh seat has incredibly consistent tension, and that gives you a suspended, weightless feel. When you're sitting centered in the correct size chair, it distributes pressure evenly and feels very dialed in. But for me, it doesn't quite reach S-tier comfort. The reason is the hard frame and the limited seating positions. The Aeron really rewards proper posture. That means if you sit square with your feet planted, working upright, it just feels fantastic. But if you shift off-center, maybe try to kick a leg up, the frame will really remind you that it's there. It's less forgiving than something like the Embody. That's why I view the Aeron as more of a pure ergonomic task chair. It's phenomenal for focused desk work, long typing sessions, and staying locked into a healthy position. The Embody, on the other hand, feels more like that get comfortable at your desk chair. It's easier to move in and feels less restrictive. I truly love both chairs, but I'd use them in different situations. The right choice really comes down to your setup, your habits, and how you like to sit throughout the day. We've created a guide ranking these Herman Miller chairs up against the most popular office chairs. Click the link in the description to see how they compare. I used to call the Mirra 2 the budget-friendly alternative to the Aeron. But let's be honest, I can't use that word for a $1,270 chair. At that price, you want this to be the chair, not the one you feel like you settled on. So how does the Mirra 2 stand on its own? The recline is the first thing that reminds you that this is still a Herman Miller. The harmonic tilt is incredibly smooth and balanced. It gives you that effortless, floating feeling that makes long sessions comfortable. Adjustment-wise, the Mirra 2 is loaded. You get seat depth adjustment at the front edge of the seat, responsive tension control, multiple recline lock positions, and forward tilt. The lumbar system is highly adjustable with height and depth control. The arms are also strong, even though they might be a little odd looking, kind of like a lima bean. They have really soft pads with a sloped front edge so you can pull them close to your desk, and full 4D adjustability. All that said, it's still a mesh seat with a frame, and that polyback can feel a bit rigid or cool to the touch. So it's a great chair, just make sure it's the style that you truly want. Immediately when you see the Cosm, there's a definite wow factor, almost like a piece of modern art rather than an office chair. The continuous mesh design that flows from the backrest into the seat gives it a great hammock feel. Visually, it has to be one of the coolest chairs Herman Miller has ever made, right up there with the Embody. The cradled suspension feeling is real. When you lean back, it's smooth and effortless. Again, thanks to that auto harmonic tilt. It automatically adjusts to your weight, so there's no tension knob to mess with. You just sit and recline. That simplicity also becomes a limitation. There's fewer adjustments than pretty much every chair in this price range, and because of that, I don't see this as an 8 to 10 hour grinded out workday type chair. It feels more suited to a conference room, maybe a creative studio, or a stylish home office where you're sitting for shorter, more relaxed sessions. And that's what makes this price hard to justify. You're paying premium money for a very specific use case. The Sayl uses a suspension bridge inspired poly back. This gives it a modern, architectural look. I've always appreciated how polybacks flex and move with you, and the Sayl does that really well. The back adapts as you shift, and for the right body type, it can be really comfortable. My personal issue is simple though, I just don't fit in it. The backrest height is better suited for users around 5'10" or under. At 6'2", I feel like I'm sitting above the support rather than in it. This is always a chair that I wish it had an A, B, and C size options like the Aeron, because I would need a size C. Now the Sayl does have a very nice seat, even if it's a bit on the small and firm side. The arms are fine, but they feel a little bit weak to me for the price point. The recline is also very smooth, but it doesn't have that same harmonic tilt like the previous 3 chairs. At around $1,000, the competition gets serious. The similarly priced Hayworth Zodi and Steelcase Mia are both significantly more comfortable and still from major brands. The Lino sits near the Sayl in price, but it takes more of a traditional approach with a mesh back and padded seat. The mesh has decent flex and it conforms reasonably well to your body. There's an optional height adjustable lumbar system that's on the small and narrow side, but I think it's still worth adding. The seat is firmer than it looks, but it won't bottom out and it stays supportive, even if it's not real plush. The arms are a slight upgrade over the Sayl with larger, rounded pads. However, if you want fully adjustable arms and the seat depth slider, your color combinations become a little limited. The Lino's biggest value proposition here is the Herman Miller warranty and policies. Greg, Ryan, and I rank the seat and backrest as C tier for comfort, so at close to $1,000, that's tough to justify. If you're set on a mesh back with a padded seat, we find the Eurotech Vera more comfortable at around $500. The Hayworth Soji is a similar style chair at a comparable price, and it feels like a noticeable upgrade all around. We can't forget about the Verus. It's the lowest price option in Herman Miller's ergonomic lineup, and in my opinion, it offers better value than the higher priced Sayl and Lino. It's not as flashy, focusing more on comfort than style. The thinner seat pad is more comfortable than it looks. It has a flatter, square shape that makes it feel larger. There's no seat depth adjustment, but at 6'2", I still found it to be usable. The backrest has enough flex to avoid feeling rigid, and the height adjustable lumbar comes standard. The arms offer 3-way adjustment with a good range and decent padding. The Herman Miller Vantum created buzz because it wasn't just a reskinned gaming version of one of their top ergonomic chairs. It offers solid adjustability, seat depth adjustment, a built-in headrest, and 3-way adjustable arms. I also like that the seat is more open than the typical bucket-style gaming chair. The issue, again, is sizing. The backrest is short, and if you're not centered, you'll feel the hard upper frame. The seat is very short as well. Even with the seat depth fully extended, I don't fit at 6'2". Honestly, anyone much over 5'8" should be cautious. The lumbar and upper back support are present, but not very strong. If you want a gaming style chair, I'd look at the Fractal Refine chair. It's more comfortable for a wider range of people, and around $600, it's easier to justify the price. Bottom line, Herman Miller offers a diverse range of office chairs. They feature some unique styling and have innovative ways to create comfort. If nothing seemed right for you, remember to check out our guide.